Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Shanvatam Swakadaha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridyantasto Bhadrani Vidunoti Susatam Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavad Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishaki. Hare Krishna everyone. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 12, verse 42 and 43. Verse 42. Ya Panchavarsho Gurudara Vaksaraid Vinnena Yato Hrudayena Duyata Vanam Vanamadesha Karo Chitam Prabhu Jigaya Tad Bhakta Gunaihi Parajitam. Synonyms. Yaha, he who, Panchavarshaha, at the age of 5, Gurudara, of the wife of his father, Vaksharahi, by the harsh words, Vinena, being very much aggrieved, Yataha went, Hrudayana, because his heart, Duyata, very much pained, Vanam to the forest, Matadesha, according to my instruction, Karaha, acting, Ajitam, unconquerable, Prabhum, the supreme person of Godhead, Jigaya, he defeated, that his bhakta of devotees, Gunahi with the qualities, Parajitam, conquered. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The great sage Narada continued, just see how Dhruva Maharaja, aggrieved at the harsh words of his stepmother, went to the forest at the age of only 5 years, and under my direction underwent austerity. Although the supreme person of Godhead is unconquerable, Dhruva Maharaja defeated him with the specific qualifications possessed by the Lord's devotees. Purport. The Supreme Godhead is unconquerable. No one can conquer the Lord, but he voluntarily accepts subordination to the devotional qualities of his devotees. For example, Lord Krishna accepted subordination to the control of Mother Yashoda because she was a great devotee. The Lord likes to be under the control of his devotees. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, he said that everyone comes before the Lord and offers him exalted prayers, but the Lord does not feel as pleased when offered such prayers as he does when a devotee, out of pure love, chastities him as a subordinate. The Lord forgets his exalted position and willingly submits it to his pure devotee. Dhruva Maharaja conquered the Supreme Lord because at a very tender age, only 5 years old, he underwent all the austerities of devotional service. This devotional service was, of course, executed under the direction of the great sage Narada. He is the first principle of devotional service. Adav Guru Asrayam. In the beginning, one must accept a bona fide spiritual master. And if a devotee follows strictly the directions of the spiritual master, as Dhruva Maharaja followed the instructions of Narada Muni, then it is not difficult for him to achieve the favor of the Lord. The sum of the total devotional qualities of development of unalloyed love for Krishna. This unalloyed love for Krishna can be achieved simply by hearing about Krishna. Lord Chaitanya accepted this principle that if one in any position submissively hears a transcendental message spoken by Krishna or about Krishna, then gradually he develops a quality of unalloyed love. And by that love only he can conquer the unconquerable. The Mayavadi philosophers aspire to become one with the Supreme Lord, but a devotee surpasses that position. Not only does a devotee become one in quality with the Supreme Lord, but he sometimes becomes the father, mother, or the master of the Lord. Arjuna also, by his devotional service, made Lord Krishna his chariot driver. He ordered the Lord, put my chariot here, and the Lord executed his order. These are some of the examples of how a devotee can acquire the exalted position of conquering the unconquerable. Text 43. Ya Kshata Bandhur Bhuvi Tasyadirudam Anva Arukshed Apivarsha Pugaihi Tat Panchavarsho Yad Ahobir Alpaihi Prasadya Vaikuntam Avapa Tat Padam. Yah one who, Kshatrabandhu, the son of Kshatriya, Bhuvihi on the earth, Tasya of Dhruva, Adhirudam, the exalted position, Anu after Arukset can aspire to attain, Api even Varsha Pugaihi after many years, Tat Panchavarshaha, 5 or 6 years old, yet which Ahobihi Alpaihi after a few days, Prasadya after pleasing, Vaikuntham the Lord, Avapa attained Tatpadam, his abode. Translation: Dhruva Maharaja attained an exalted position at the age of only 5 or 6 years, after undergoing austerity for 6 months. Alas, a great Kshatriya cannot achieve such a position even after undergoing austerities for many, many years. Purport: Dhruva Maharaja is described herein as a Kshatriya Bandhu, which indicates that he was not fully trained as a Kshatriya because he was only 5 years old. He was not a mature Kshatriya. A Kshatriya or a Brahmana has to take the training. A boy born in the family of a Brahmana is not immediately a Brahmana. He should take up the training and purificatory process. The great sage Narada Muni was very proud of having a devotee disciple like Dhruva Maharaja. He had many other disciples, but he was very pleased with Dhruva Maharaja because in one lifetime, by dint of his severe penances and austerities, he had achieved Vaikuntha, which was never achieved by anyone, any other king's son or Rajarsi throughout the whole universe. There is the instance of the great King Bharata, who was also a great devotee, but he attained Vaikuntha Loka in 3 lives. The first life, although he executed austerities in the forest, he became a victim of too much affection for a small deer. And in his next life, he had to take the birth of a deer. Although he had deer's body, he remembered his spiritual position, but he still had to wait until the next life for perfection. In the next life, he took the birth as Jada. Of course, in that life, he was completely freed from all material entanglement, and he attained perfection and was elevated to Vaikuntha Loka. The lesson from the life of Dhruva Maharaja is that if one likes, one can attain Vaikuntha Loka in one life without waiting for many other lives. My Guru Maharaja, Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, used to say that every one of his disciples could attain Vaikuntha Loka in his life without waiting for another life to execute devotional service. One simply has to become as serious and sincere as Dhruva Maharaja. Then it is quite possible to attend Vaikuntha Loka and go back home, back to Godhead in one's life. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiji Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasade Histarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. I would like to seek blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas and thank you for giving me an opportunity to purify myself. Please forgive me for any shortcoming or adding my own interpretation. I have taken the purport from a couple of devotees. Let me start. Now let's look at verse 32. This verse 32, verse 42. Uh, if I look at verse 42, one thing that comes out is Krishna consciousness. Again, if we can refer to the purport from, again, the same chapter, Canto 12, text 38. The exact Sanskrit terminology for Krishna consciousness is here mentioned. Krishna Parayana. Parayana means going forward. Anyone who is going forward to the goal of Krishna is called Krishna Parayana or fully Krishna conscious. The example of Dhruva Maharaja indicates that every Krishna conscious person can expect to reach the topmost summit of all three planetary systems within the universe. A Krishna conscious person can occupy an exalted position beyond the imagination of any ambitious materialist. Now, it's always we hear involved in Krishna consciousness, become a pure devotee, along develop the love with Krishna. Now, we all as devotees are interested to have relationship with Lord Krishna. and in this, there is no backdoor policy. We should not be in a position of Lord Krishna, rather, we should have devotion on Lord Krishna, who is the supreme enjoyer, and we can take the opportunity to be absorbed, to be in Krishna consciousness. I also have obtained an interview of Srila Prabhupada giving to the reporter Sandy Nixon, which took place in 1925. And this happened to be in the quarters of Prabhupada, where he was in Philadelphia. Now, one thing that amazed me is the discussion between Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada and also the reporter. The discussion serves as a superb introduction to Krishna consciousness and covers such basic topics as the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the relationship between the spiritual master and God, the difference between genuine and fake gurus, the role of women in Krishna consciousness, and the relationship between the Christ consciousness and Krishna consciousness, which was part of the discussion. So, Mr. Nixon asked first question, what is Krishna consciousness? Prabhupada replies, Krishna means God. We are all intimately connected with him because he is our original father. But we have forgotten this connection. However, when we become interested in knowing what is my connection with God, what the aim of life, then this is what we call as Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness can simply define as always remembering Krishna. However, going about that can become difficult to understand. Krishna consciousness is a lifelong process of understanding how to love Krishna and how to serve him. Krishna as a person, a spiritual person, spiritual evidence in Vedic scripture says that every living entity has a soul without distinction. Each soul has the same qualities as God. However, the quantity and extent of those qualities are far different and far lower than those of gods. Krishna can love, so souls can come to some extent. Krishna can eat, so the souls can. Krishna can eat, so can the souls to some extent. Krishna has feelings, so do souls to some extent. Knowing that God is indeed a person, it is first important thing to develop love for Him. This take place through this take place through reading His glories and chanting the Maha Mantra. One will develop love for Him. After this, one will want to serve Him. And naturally, the person who loves someone will want to serve Him. And naturally, the person who loves someone will want to serve them. Krishna consciousness is a never-ending science on loving, serving, and always remembering Krishna. And the next question from the reporter Nixon. How does Krishna consciousness develop in the practitioner? Srila Prabhupada replies, Krishna consciousness is already there in the core of everyone's heart. But because of our materially conditioned life, we have forgotten it. The process of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, revives the Krishna consciousness for all we already have. For example, a few months ago, these American and European boys and girls did not know about Krishna. But just yesterday, we saw how they were chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and dancing especially through the whole Radha Yatra procession, an annual festival sponsored by the Krishna consciousness movement in cities around the world. Do you think that was artificial? No. Artificially, nobody can chant and dance for hours together. They have actually awakened their Krishna consciousness by following a bona fide process. It is also explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Vajalila, chapter 22, text 107. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema, Saja Kabunaya, Savanadi Suddha Chitte, Karaye Udiyaga. Krishna consciousness is dormant in everyone's heart, and when one comes in contact with devotee, it is awakened. Krishna consciousness is not artificial, just as a young boy awakens his natural attraction for a young girl in her association. Similarly, if one hears about Krishna in the association of devotees, he awakens his dormant, which is Krishna consciousness. This is an interesting question that Report Nixon asked. How can one tell a bona fide spiritual master from a fake? Srila Prabhupada replies, whoever teaches how to know God and how to love him is a spiritual master. Sometimes bogus rascals mislead people. I am God, they claim. And people do not know what is God, is believe them. You must be a serious student to understand who is God and how to love Him. Otherwise, you simply waste your time. So, the difference between others and us is that we are only a movement that can actually teach one how to know God and how to love Him. We are presenting this science of how one can know Krishna, the supreme person of Godhead, by practicing the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. They teach us that only our business is to love God. Our business is not to ask God for necessity. God gives all necessities to everyone, even to one who has no religion. For example, cats and dogs have no religion. Yes, Krishna supplies them with the necessities of life. So why should we bother Krishna for a daily bread? He's already supplying it. Real religion means to love, learn how to love him. This again mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.6. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radokshaje ahituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. First class religion teaches one how to love God without any motive. If I serve God for some profit, that is business, not love. Real love of God is ahituki, apratihata. It cannot be checked by any material cause. It is unconditional. If one actually wants to love God, there is no impediment. One can love Him whether one is poor or rich. We give Krishna consciousness to both men and women equally. We welcome everyone, women, men, poor, rich. Everyone. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 5.18, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gabhihastini, Sunchaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshnaha. The humble sage, by virtue of true knowledge, sees that equal with vision, a learned, a gentle Brahmana, a cow, elephant, and a dog eater. Now, moving to text 43. There's something interesting which I found during the purport while I'm listening, and I just take up few points. Dhruva Maharaja was an young devotee of Lord Vishnu who was humiliated by his stepmother and eventually became a star in the sky. He became so star that he was looking as a pole star. The sailors should always refer to direction where the ship is going. Again, the story of Dhruva is popular legend that teaches the importance of determination, faith in God. Now, let's see a few important activities that happen in life. First is humiliation. At 5 years age, he was humiliated by his stepmother because he wants to sit on his father's lap. Devotion. Despite of the humiliation, his mother suggested to worship Lord Vishnu, and this is how he became a follower, devotee, and followed the Lord. Penance. Dhruva performed severe austerities to please Lord Vishnu, including going without food and water for 6 months. The vision. With the guidance of his guru, Narada Mahamuni, Dhruva meditated on Lord Vishnu and developed an inner vision of Lord's faith. Last but not least, the star. Vishnu turned Dhruva into star and placed him in the sky above the world. He also turned the seven rishis into stars to protect Dhruva. The brave story of Dhruva and the Dhruva star is about child how he became a star. The story mentions if your determination is unwavering, you can go and get anything you want. All you need is an unshakable faith in yourself and God. Life will offer you sorrows, but only if you have complete faith in what you're doing, you'll be able to come out of it unharmed and stronger than before. This is about how essentially a father's love is in a child's life, which is our devotion to Lord Krishna. It's a great story that helps us to inculcate that determination, faith, hope, which are the three things that can make anyone achieve anything in the life. No matter how impossible something looks, it is essential to keep working for. It is essential to keep working for it until something can become possible. I would like to end this purport with few of the beautiful slokas which I always dear to me. Harer Nama iva Kaivalam, Kalo na seva anyati gata. And this is another verse which I just read from Chaitanya Charitamrita yesterday. Nama Vinu Kali Kale Nahi Ara Dharma Sarva Mantra Sara Nama Yehi Sastra Marma Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami. Thank you to all Vaishnavas who have attended today's Srimad Bhagavatam session, and please forgive me for any